And now it's time for all of us to gather on the stage. I'm very excited about this. I will wait. We're going to welcome back all of our panelists. Uri, Diane Elson, Dia, and is Mona joining us as well? Hi, everyone. How are you? Dia, I love how you put all of that technology in such positive. We all have love-hate relationships but you gave us a very love relationship today, and I appreciate that, which was great. We have some questions from our audience, and I will go through some of them, but I would like to start, if I could. There is such extraordinary depth and breadth from all of you, your passions, right? We are those young girls who we are trying to help today in so many different ways, right? We find ourselves all around the world. We all acknowledge, and I took notes on everything that all of you said, that we could be a lot further along. So if I was to ask you, if you're sitting by yourself or you're out with a group or whatever, and you're tossing up a glass of wine, what's an innovative, out-of-the-box idea that can accelerate gender equality? Because clearly, after 25 years, what we've been doing is not making it happen fast enough. And the numbers for equity and equality, we don't even want to talk about them, but they're like, 100 years, 200 years. We're not waiting for that. So I'm just curious. Diane, as you hang around with your feminist economist friends and beyond.
Well, let me share with you an idea that comes from a commission on a gender equal economy I've been chairing in the UK. We'll be launching our report next week. And what we're calling for is a creation of a caring economy. A caring economy which invests a lot in care, but which also asks employers to care for their employees. To respect their labour rights, to give them care leave for looking after their family members. So we want and argue for a care economy that brings together gender equality, well-being and sustainability. The polling and focus groups we've been doing in the UK, this has been getting quite a positive response, and we're getting quite a positive response from men who see how that could benefit them too, because there are many men who want to take more role in providing care, but they're hampered by stereotypes, social norms, by employers who say, no, that's only for moms, dads shouldn't be doing that. So a caring economy, that's what we need, not the kind of economies we've got at the moment.
Cheer, and I think that COVID is especially shedding a light on this. Women's rights, right? Liberate men's rights. I think I heard you say that as well. Anybody have any reactions or an additional idea? I think we're on a roll here. This is fantastic.
I can jump right in. I wasn't sure. Yes. Well, if I had to use one word, I would say knowledge. But that obviously one word, it's sharing of the knowledge and education, because so many people do not even know what their rights are, right? This is why I keep talking about documents are not just important. They're just papers filed or in computers. We just need to learn what our governments, both locally and internationally, have committed to do, and then make sure that it's implemented and we hold them accountable. I think also for just me and my sisters, a glass of wine, or, my colleagues that I'm organizing CSW with, I think the conversations that we're having is about shared leadership, as I mentioned before, about having intergenerational dialogue. We have to stop working in silos and then realizing that all of these topics are interconnected, right? It's not just the technology, it's not just the economy, it's not just the violence against women. They are all interconnected. And of course, we can argue forever on what the stem is. How do we really pull it out from the stem, right? I mentioned a few about patriarchy, colonialism, this othering of others, right? And the fear mongering that we create for anybody who's different than, I'm sorry to say, with all due respect to the white men out there, it's the white men in general who have created this fear mongering of the other, of the women, of of blackness, of LGBTQI rights. So we need to really understand where this is stemming from, that knowledge, that education that we can give to others so that we can stop it from the root. And when we see it happening in our own circles, in feminist movements, I have to say that as well. We know that it happens in our movement as well. We need to call it out and we need to stop it. We have to be the modeling of it.
Yes,
You know,
please.
I love
please.
what both Diane and Hori said, and I was thinking that there probably isn't something super innovative or creative that we need to do. It is getting back to some of the basics that we probably need to do. I mean, no technology, and we talked about, and I appreciate you saying that I shared some positive things about technology. No technology is going to solve the challenges that we have with accountability. No technology is going to solve what Ori talked about as far as us leaving out marginalized individuals or this sort of insider-outsider culture. And really it requires, I believe, going back to some basics around accountability, as well as people having courage enough to embrace, and I mention this in particular, people from the majority communities to embrace and create opportunity and open up doors for the other, right? And we're seeing some of that now, right? There have been numbers and scores of women that are receiving CEO positions and higher profile positions in this last couple of months, many of which have been people of color, Black and African American women, but we're seeing a rise in that specific area, and I think it needs to be more of that. But we also have to create a culture of accountability, right? When do we hold our leaders, our business people, organizations, our governments accountable to do the right kinds of things for the people, not just for themselves?
Right. I actually highlighted when you said we need men and the majority, right? So that's interconnectivity. And Uri, I hear you saying that we need to think more interconnectedly. And actually, it's really the repatterning of how we think and how we work. Perhaps our goals are really the ones we need, but how we get to them needs to be restructured. Mona, welcome. I'm glad you were able to join us. We would love you. We're brainstorming here on how do we accelerate progress? Any new, I am sure you have an idea that you've been holding on to that you would love to put out there and we can jump on.
Yeah, there is no disagreement what the fellow panelists have shared their ideas. My thought, in my opinion, I think the collective effort is required. When we are talking about the women, we need to all type of women, like we could not isolate anyone, and they have a plenty of like a knowledge. If I am talking about the indigenous women, they have a lot of different kind of knowledge. We need to share their knowledge and build better for our future. So in our context, it's a very difficult. As I already shared my notes in speaking, that women is very difficult to getting a chance in a decision making role. If the women are not in a decision making position, they couldn't decide anything, and the policy and then plan and then everything is made by men. So where our women is going to, we are just their path. We need to force to walk on their path. That's my opinion. I think we need to bring more women on the leadership position so that they can decide what is the workable for them, not other will decide for them.
Right. Just like as Uri said, we don't want others deciding for us. We want to be part of that process. And I also really love the othering of the others. Don't have much time, but I did want to recognize the many people who have shared this panel, have engaged in their own minds, and now have posted on the chat. Ahmet Ibrahimit, and forgive me, please, it's nice to be among people who are striving for the betterment of global society. So that is kudos to all of you. And Michelle Williams, who speaks about being excited about the movement and progress that women have made through the years as it relates to women around the world, our economic, social, and emotional empowerment. Progress makes it possible for little girls, young and older women to dream big and achieve those dreams. Well, I'm hoping today does help further that effort. Catherine Klein said, as the moderator noted, the key issue is power. And how do we convince men who have that power that it's better to share it? You've addressed that, Dia, in your remarks specifically. Anybody have any thoughts on how we continue to move towards a collective power sharing model?
I think I have a very shortly I would like to share is a power sharing men feeling a threat that women are coming in the in a power sharing. They are encroaching their space, which is wrong. They must convince. We are talking about the gender equality, we are not talking about ourselves. We are collectively talking about equally men and women need to share on that power sharing. So I just end it here.
Yes? Okay, no, yes, okay, I wasn't sure. I was just taking a note, I apologize. Toko or Thoko Puli, I agree with Uri about moving from policy document to implementation and accountability. How do we achieve this?
I think it really goes back to that. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
It goes back to what I was saying about really the knowledge, right? If women and girls have the knowledge, have access to the information of what their governments are supposed to do, I think, if you just think about your own countries, we know it because we're in this work right now, right? We know about Beijing Platform for Action. But especially in the United States, and it's so many other countries too, people don't even know what their governments are promising and how we can really hold them accountable. And we need to really educate women and girls on how do we do that. I think Dia's story was so touching to me. Like for her at third grade, I believe she said, when she got the internet or the laptop and she was able to explore herself. Imagine if we can give that power, that kind of knowledge to everyone to access information that is really their right. That's how we can really bring implementation.
Right, that was a beautiful image. I saw a beautiful young girl with her little laptop, so excited, right? Which we're hoping to make sure all little girls, all little boys have laptops.
You guys are
today.
funny. It was laptops back then. Those were like old block VIC-20s that barely had color. There was no color either. So
Modernized it.
Well, I am sure that this is a group that we can spend much more time talking together, making progress, inspiring people and ourselves. We don't have any more time, so I thought I would end it with one question. And I want to thank, in particular, there was a woman that posted a couple times, and I just wanted to thank her. Bathsheba Smithen, thank you for your comments. We appreciate them. Here we are in the time of COVID, right? The world's kind of in upheaval. We are 25 years out of Beijing. We just had this wonderful conversation. If I asked you for one word to represent your feelings about where we sit, I'll start. So I hope I'm not taking anyone else's word, but you can replicate it. I'm going to say I am hopeful. I am hopeful. Okay. Who else? Diane, do you have a word?
That was my word, but I'm going to also say I'm hopeful and I'm also inspired, right? Because of the people that I'm working with, I'm inspired of the possibilities.
Great.
Imagining. We are trying to imagine a different kind of economy. So I think we have to imagine a different kind of world and then collectively organize to get it.
I am so excited by what you've presented about the caring economy, believe me. And yeah,
my word is motivated more than ever to continue to do this kind of work and to be joined with women like yourselves, but also with men and others to really forge forward and see the kind of equality and empowerment we need.
And we're motivated to work with you in that. So lead away. We are with you. And Mona.
My is a commitment.
Commitment.
Yeah.
That's
Commitment.
Awesome. So we're going to leave. We're going to leave each other and this conference with these words: hopeful, inspired, imagine, motivated, and commitment. I thank you all. I thank Semri and all of her team, the UNGA Conference 2020, for inviting all of us this opportunity to come together, truly where technology really showcases how bright a light it is. I look forward to staying in touch with all of you. Be well.
Luck to all of
Healthy,
you.
stay.
Thank
Stay
you.
healthy.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.